What constitutes a great public space?
Great public space is public space that's used and it's used creatively.
I know it's about a space, but I think it's a process which allows all stakeholders, especially those who will benefit from the public space, in the development or the creation of the public space.
You know, public space in a city is an organic being. One prescription for one place doesn't necessarily cure an ill for another place.
We're starting at the foot of Lion's Head. We want to map the city from an aerial perspective with the dominant narrative of the city. That is the narrative that's framed by that image of the mountain that the whole world knows so well. The view of the mountain that you don't see on postcards, that you don't see in documentaries. It's the area framed by the mountain that's actually the most economically viable. We're going to use the lens of public space largely as our opportunity to try and turn that table. We're going to spend a couple of hours in Langa exploring spaces with the city of Cape Town.
Public spaces we create, it's about creating something on those public spaces where you can turn it to be a beautiful garden or a beautiful park. I think the city and the community, they should go into a partnership about the ideas about what to do on that particular public space.
Our history has demanded, and in fact it demanded in legislation, that we were silent. We've had an economy of silence. When you break an economy of silence, I mean with any human trauma, when the trauma ends and there's a new space of freedom, it's really difficult to find a voice to express not only the trauma that you've experienced, but to express just where you find yourself. So the Manenberg waterfront is a civic idea, it's a civic intervention. This is working with the idea of turning a piece of land into public space, as opposed to a piece of public space being used for public use.
What makes great public spaces are those in which people come together, people socialize, there's recreation facilities, and more importantly, it's a place of peace.
If you've not been able to dream, or you have a really hard time and sort of you think small, the government will help you small. If you think big and you have big aspirations, the government will come in and help you meet those aspirations.
The public spaces are where the spirit of our cities come alive.
One thing that came through is that the full utilization of a public space really requires a strong partnership.
We were looking at spaces that are truly public and run by the city. We've looked at spaces that are potentially public, and we've looked at spaces that are actually not public but have been repurposed.
One's vision for a public space is very often the most important manifestation of one's vision for a city.